hundreds. What I think looks like a birdhouse to me, but there you go, 4,500. If you wanted to, you could put zeros down here just so people knew you didn't forget something, or you just stopped writing, or you died and you just didn't keep writing. But you don't truly need it, do you? 4,500, bam.
Why wouldn't you just use the, why not just eliminate number 4 and then just make 4,000? 4,000 of those.
Just put 4 of these?
Yeah, because that's the symbol.
Then that would be an additive system, and what these guys are trying to improve on, right? These guys might have thought the Egyptians had a good idea, but they thought, instead of writing 9 tens for 90, how can I write 90 now? So how do you write 90? How would you write 90? Chinese. 9 would be, you got to look it up, right?
9 and 10.
Yeah, here's 9 and 10. There's 90. In Egyptian, what would 90 look like?
Multiplication.
In Egyptian, it would look like 9 heel bones. Yeah. Right? So they've taken that idea of an additive system and they've improved on it. They said, why write the same symbol 9 times? Why not just have a symbol for 9 and then the symbol for 10 and you're done? Yep.
Do you have to put parentheses around those so we know that's 90?
How do you mean?
Because like for that one, for 30, you did the 3 and the 2.
Oh, I don't have to. I did that for the first one so you knew, and then the question about the pairs came up, and I assume they're pairs. So if you want to, you could. But in general, you don't have to. We know that this is a pair. That's 90. Now, if I just have a single thing up there, here's what it is in Chinese. Here's the number in Chinese. There. There it is. That's all I give you. What number is that?
4.
There's no pair, but that's okay because it's a single digit, right? I obviously don't need a pair. It's just 4. Now, they could have said that I had to write 4 once, but it really would be totally unnecessary. I don't need that. It's just by itself, I know it's a 4. If it's at the end, I know it's a single digit, right? Cool. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, this is... The nice thing is, once you start to see how civilizations did this, the civilizations that came after, they have their own option. They said, well, they had a good idea. Those guys had a good idea. Let's kind of take the best elements of those and put them together. Right? So the Romans had kind of rules that went along. If they had a small one in front of us, so they kind of improved on the Egyptians. And then the Chinese said, well, we can make it even a little better. Instead of writing 9 in the same symbol, it's going to write the symbol for 9. Get to the point, right? Now, our system is better than this in some ways, worse than this in others. It's just the way it is. Our system is not the best that ever existed. It's just the one we happen to use now. Really. It's pretty damn good, but it's got some disadvantages compared to some of these. Yeah.
When he asked like if you did like just the 4 of the thousands, you said that was an additive system. What would this be? Just Chinese?
No. What did I say this was? Multiplicative, right?
Multiplicative.
Because how are we building this based on multiplication, right? Instead of writing the symbol 9 times, meaning you add 10 9 times, I'm just going to say 9 tens, 9 times 10. So this is a multiplicative system.
So if you have the 4,500, what if it was 4,510? So you just end with the 10 symbol?
Well, there's a little bit of disagreement there, actually. I would say 110. But really for teens, very often they would just have to put that down there like that. But me, to make it very clear, I would say 110. So that would be 4,500 and 110, so 10.
Okay.
How we doing?
Why would you put the 10? Why, if it's one number, why are you giving it 2 places here?
This is not a place system. These 2 numbers make one thing, 4,000. They don't have a place system. Right? They don't have a place system. That's why they really don't need 0. What would tell me that's supposed to be 4,000? Don't I have to put 3 more zeros so I force that 4 into the right place? What would tell them that I have 4,000? The symbol 4 and the symbol 1,000. It doesn't have to be in the right place because there are no places. This is not a place system. This is a multiplicative system. Whatever the pair is, I multiply them together to get that number. Yeah.
So could you just put the 1,000 above the 4 and it'd be the same thing as long as they're...
Well, they really did have, it was strict, they had to have the single digit first times the multiplier second.
Okay.
And what are your only multipliers? I always have somebody that tells me 12 would be 6 times 2. But that's no good. I mean, the only multipliers I have are just like the only places we have. Do we have a place 6 in our number system? A place 6? No, we have ones, tens, hundreds. The Chinese have ones place that they really don't need to write that down. Tens, hundreds, thousands, right? Same way, I can't say 6 times 2 is 12. I'd have to say 12 is 110 and 2. Cool? Just try a few more. So, here, can you guys tell me what number this is? Hopefully you got your book with you today,
Yes.
or else you can't. Oh, I don't want to make that overly.
Yeah.
It's a water. Chinese.
So what symbol is this?
Wait,
Eight.
Thousand.
1,000.
Six.
60, so 6 tens, 60. So if you want to, when you're working it out, you can do that. That's fine. Just you can tell yourself, there are always pairs until you get to the single digit, right? It's a lazy T. It's not 10, it's 7, yeah. Right?
Just a little T.
So it's 8,067.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Did they really need a 0 in between there and there? Did they really need it? No.
This is fair.
The symbol for 0 is good to have, so you can actually write to somebody, you got $0 this week because you didn't come in. I want to have a symbol for 0 then, right?
or you just say read it without.
But I don't need it for a number like this. Why do we need the symbol 0? Because otherwise it would be 867, not 8,067. We have to force the 8 in the right place. They don't have places. Okay. And again, you don't have to memorize the numerals. That would be the hardest part, I would think, about different civilizations, memorizing their numerals. I'm not going to make you do that. The math is just crazy nice here, right? You guys try this. You go the other way. Write 9,372. Write that over to China.
Jesus, that's no wonder they didn't write 0 a lot.
I know. I have people just make a little, and again, no disrespect, but it does look like somebody sticking their tongue out at you, really, if you look at the symbol for 0. So sometimes I have people do that for 0. Stick their
Can we
tongue
do
out.
that?
Sure, why not? You really don't need the symbol for 0, but
Oh.
you'll see it in the homework. You'll see it in these convert from Chinese to Hindu Arabic. Right, bud?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that.
Say again?
Yeah.
Do you have to memorize these?
No.
No.
Oh,
Does that mean on the test you'll
Yeah.
give us a little sheet that says?
Yes.
Okay.
So like I told you, the Mayan base, you don't have to memorize. It'll be on that sheet. Conversions from chapter 8 will be on that sheet. I'm not going to make you memorize how many gallons there are in a
oh,
milliliter.
so we can put this on a sheet?
Huh?
We can put this on a sheet?
I'll put that on the sheet.
I know how many ounces are in a gallon.
Awesome.
How's it go?
All right, so what does this require? This needs 9 thousands, 3 hundreds, 7 tens, and a 2. You can always kind of break it out for yourself,
Oh,
right?
Right there.
So 9 would be,
The chair without the back.
oh
Like
yeah,
half the back.
9
I got mine right now.
thousand.
Yeah. 3.
3, 2, 1 is easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Just 3, it's got the little dude in the middle, right? 300 is my birdhouse, I think, right? 7 is a lazy T. I remember that one. 7 T. So I love when you read this off. 7 T. Hey, cool. T for 10. 2. And that's just 2 little pieces of bacon.
No, I won't bake.
Bacon and blueberries and pancakes, I know. Like a breakfast section. You can't beat that. That's really pretty straightforward. If you got the numerals, you really can't beat this.
We can try it.
Yeah.
Chris says, yes, I can. I can beat that. Let me see.
One more.
One more, okay. Now, obviously, the book only goes up to 1,000. Do you think that's where the Chinese stopped?
No.
No.
So the book stops short, very, very short, of fully discussing any number system. Because, for example, the Egyptians had fractions. The Chinese go above 1,000. All this kind of stuff, right? So that's why part of the research could be looking at one of these things from the book and getting a little more information about them. So what about, here, try this. Try 8,012, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's like 8,000 if it's one, two.
So you wanna do the 8, the 1,000, and 10, and 2.
8,000.
110.
110 and 2, yeah. And again, there was a little bit of, for the numbers in the teens, there was a little bit of leeway, and I think the book talks about it. I can't remember if they talk about it. Here we go, yeah. Page 186, they write about numbers that are purely in the teens. But when they're full out like this, 8,012, so you need 8,000s. So 8 is my legs, right? Yeah. I can never quite do the other leg right. 8,000, 110, and a 2.
Do you have to draw these like?
The one and thing.
Just
Oh,
like
I didn't do
Egyptians.
the one.
At least there's no lotus flowers up here, right?
Why don't you just take a,
I kind of did something else because you know how there's a 0 in it? So,
Oh, so you can put a 0 in there if you want to.
and I put the legs, the keeper.
And then you got a 0 here?
And then I put
I
the
didn't
crazy
put the
0,
one.
and then so I put the 1.
You could put the 0 there if you wanted to.
And then I put the 1 and the 10 and then the 2.
That's
Okay, so all you did was you put a 0 in there, right? Yeah. And that's fine, you can put the 0 in there, you don't need to. In fact, you didn't have it. I don't know why in this edition they put the 0 in. I think because of the fact I actually agree with them to a point. At least the Chinese had a symbol for 0. Do they really need them for a number like this? They only need it really to say 0. So thankfully they had a symbol for 0. When the Babylonians, they didn't have one and they desperately needed one.
And
Right.
then they got one in their civilization.
Yeah, I know. And they're like, oh, we figured it out. Oh, we're all dead? Okay, it's good to know. What about this? What's this number in Hindu Arabic?
142.
Yeah, so 100, 4 tens, and a 2. So 142. So this is 100, 4 tens, and again if you want to, and a 2. So 142.
And again, did they need to even put the 1 above it? I mean, it's keeping it in pairs, but
Yes, keeping it in pairs, just to make sure that we didn't think that we forgot it or something.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
Why did you need the, on the first one?
Yes.
Why did you need the 1?
Because
What-
Again,
that's
to
all.
keep the idea of pairs.
so it's 1 times 100, 4 times.
The one place where the one place, and I understand why we might think we don't need that, but it's sort of like us having a thousands place and just leaving it blank and saying, well, I just need 1. I still have to put a 1 there, right? I can't just say this is 1,000. I've got to put that 1 there.